Listen to me. Never, ever marry a man because you got pregnant. Maybe, just maybe,
That.
he's not enjoying it at home.
Look at that.
So now it might seem as though I'm the one always talking about raunchy stuff. But if you're not in a position to do stuff, by stuff I mean sex, you might want to click out. Because this
Who
one
is
has an in-law supposed to call when coming to visit. It's not about us. We're trying to help people here.
Please,
Hopefully
guys,
we're helping
not
you.
we're not specialists in these things. We're just chatting. We're two girls just bantering. So
It's in the
This is Real Dilemma Podcast with Regina and Dorcas.
So now it might seem as though I'm the one always talking about raunchy stuff. But if you're not in a position to do stuff, by stuff I mean sex, you might want to click out. Because this one has
this
to
is
do
this
with...
is 18 plus. Guys.
Yeah, this is 18 plus, probably 20 something plus if you're Nigerian. So this goes, good evening. What do I do in this situation? My husband hasn't touched me in the last 3 months now.
Wow.
I went through his phone and I found out that he talks to
He's
girls.
touching someone else.
Yeah, well, not yet. I went through his phone and I found out that he talks to girls and even tells them to come with friends. Meanwhile, he doesn't demand for sex except I talk and complain. He will mostly say he's tired, and most times I don't say anything because I know the nature of his job and I am a stay-at-home wife due to pregnancy and childbirth. The painful part is not even about sex because I'm not a freak. If he insults me and calls me names whenever he's angry without minding feelings, then when he's calm, he never apologizes. Rather, he plays a victim card and starts to report to his parents and his family members. I don't know if that made sense, but basically talking about how the sex is not as painful as the insults that he gives to her when they're when they're having issues. And then he reports to his parents and his family members. He never appreciates my efforts. Rather, he uses the fact that childbirth changed my body and now my tummy is filled with stretch marks to insult me.
Please hold on before you continue. What is with men and reporting to their friends and family members?
No, it's these men. See, it's the men. I don't think all men do that. It's not really
the last
masculine
episode.
thing.
Was it the last episode?
Yeah.
And we read a dilemma, and it was about a guy that is reporting. What's wrong with all of you and reporting?
I think I don't think all guys are. Most guys are not like that.
They shouldn't be.
It's women that mostly like report to people. So she goes on to say, he provides almost all our needs, but he's never in the house, even on weekends. I'm tired of this marriage already, but I don't know where to start from because I don't even have anything to fall back on. Even if I leave the marriage, the little business I was able to start is not even enough to go anywhere.
Yeah.
He's in his early 30s while I'm in my early 20s. Mind you, this marriage is not up to a year. I would appreciate if you could talk about this.
Wow.
So that's the tea for today.
Summarize.
Summary is her husband is not touching her. He's talking to girls and telling girls to bring their friends and do stuff. And then when they fight, he insults her and reports to his parents. And he insults. She doesn't have anything to fall back on. She doesn't have money. The marriage is just a year. A year.
This is why I say, women, get your bag up. Get your money up. Just do something for yourself. Because how are you telling me that you can't, you have nothing to fall back on if anything happens?
But hold on. She's a stay-at-home mom. You know, there are some women who are stay-at-home moms.
True.
And they're taking care of the kids.
To be honest,
what can you do?
This person must be in Nigeria, I'm sure.
Possibly. What can she do? She's at home with the kids. She can't really do much. So he has to provide. Let's talk about it from the man's perspective and the woman's perspective now.
All right, Karen.
Let me play the devil's advocate here. Just playing the devil's advocate.
Okay.
And speaking for the man. Maybe, just maybe,
that
he's not enjoying it at home.
He's not even touching her.
Yeah, because he's not enjoying what he's getting at home.
In what way? Like, not the sex, but the other part.
The sex. That's why he's not touching her. And that's why he would rather
but that's not an excuse.
No. It's not an excuse to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
But some men, when they're not enjoying sex with their wives, they tend to look outside to do it. That's not a reason to do it.
I know.
But that's why some men do it.
I hear you.
Now, that's something that could have been avoided if he had a conversation with her and said, okay, this is not working. The way you're slopping and
that's
everything
the
is
problem.
not proper.
The problem is that men don't necessarily speak up when they are supposed to. They rather bottle it up.
And make
some
dumb
of them don't
decisions.
even talk to their guy friends about it, which it could be even helpful if they speak to their guy friends and say, guy, this is what's happening, how far waiting have you do, what can I do, that kind of thing.
And
but
some would speak to their guy friends, and the guy friends would be like, see this
leave
girl
her,
already
may
outside.
I give you
exactly. There's one babe
Sharon.
on the side. That's exactly. So
yeah, so it's just this is so hard.
it's not hard. This is not hard. It isn't.
Why? Oh, okay.
The
go on.
marriage is too young for this. It's just 1 year.
So what are you gonna advise her to leave?
No, obviously you can't leave immediately.
It's immediately for me.
No, you can't leave immediately. You try to make it work. Now, 1 year is too short to try to make it work.
Let's take it from the point where she said she's gone through his phone and she sees that he's messaging other girls.
Okay. Then you have that conversation with him.
Yeah.
Pull him up. Have a conversation with him.
God.
You know, talk to him about it and let him know that that's something you're not happy with.
So what if he says
and tell him you want to leave. If he's fine with you leaving, then leave.
Wow.
If he's willing to work on it, then work on it. Is what I think. Because it's just 1 year in. Bear in mind that there are some people that you do it the first time, they're done with the marriage. So for her to be asking for advice at this point, it means she still wants the guy.
She does. It's only a year. She's not willing. No woman wants to give up in a year. Women tend to want to try.
But there are some women who would give up in 2 months if you cheat on them.
Facts.
In 2 months, they're walking away. But she's asking because she still wants to be there. So obviously, you still want to be there. Ask him.
Yeah, I think for me, my advice would be obviously address all the elephants. In fact, the elephants are plenty. First of all, you ain't touched me in 3 months. What are you doing? What are you doing? Because you're definitely doing something.
Yes. It's obvious he's doing something. She caught him cheating.
No, she caught him texting.
Texting other people, yes.
Yeah. So
And
he's obviously doing. So that was
So
great.
he's cheating.
They need to start from there.
He is cheating. He is cheating with some, not just one.
Yeah. Plenty, right?
A girl and her friends.
Okay, yeah. They need to address start from the whole cheating thing, the whole not sleeping with me thing. And then whatever outcome that gives you, that's when you really know what to do, to be honest. Because aside that, you still need to address the fact that you need to you need to pick up your life, girl.
Oh
if
my
you are
God.
choosing to stay in that marriage, you need to pick yourself up and sort yourself out. Because this is just the beginning. You're only 1 year in.
Just 1 year in.
This is just the beginning. So you need to make up your mind. It's really hard,
He insults her. You know when you're having arguments with somebody and then the person is insulting
He's
you?
a wicked man.
That's terrible.
He's even a wicked man. Let's just call it a spade a spade. He's a wicked person.
But you know, women, we tend to ignore red flags. I don't think he started this in marriage.
You saw the red flags, baby.
I don't think he saw this in.
The red
I think
flag.
she saw.
He didn't join me in my singing.
Sing it again. I did not hear you. Sorry. Sing it. Who sang the song? Is it Ruga?
Ruga, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, I know the song. It took me a second. But yeah, I think she ignored the flags. She saw it before she got married to him. And now she's in it, she still doesn't want to leave.
She doesn't. And that's fair enough if you don't want to leave, but you need to address the issues and then make your decision on that, because you can't keep going like this. You need to see a therapist. If he's willing, you both go see a therapist. Because maybe obviously as a man, he probably has never really just had the opportunity or the avenue to speak. So maybe if she addresses it with him and he says a few things like, I don't like the way you give it to me, I don't like this, I don't like that, then we can start working on it.
Let me just put this out here. I found out, or I heard recently from a friend, that there are some men who like to do freaky things.
Okay.
But would not do the freaky things with their wives, but would rather do it with their side piece.
Pisses me off.
I swear.
That true?
So that could be.
Chase is like,
Chase,
leave me out of this. I don't want to get involved.
I swear down, that's what I heard. They would
I've
rather do
heard that too.
because they feel like the wife is like sacred, like
What
like
nonsense. If I knock you guys, what do you mean sacred? Do you know, I don't want to get into this conversation because it's annoying me already, because this thing, I've actually been saying it, and I say it even to my husband. I'm like, even before, I was about to air out my own dirty laundry, but no, you're not gonna get me talking. But like, I say to him that things that you used to do. Okay, let me say. Okay, things we used to do before we had kids. Why aren't we doing it now?
I think with kids,
I know,
it
but
slows
still, there are
things down.
opportunities that allows it, even with kids.
Are there?
Yeah, when
And
they're in bed,
You
they're
initiate.
locked
Do you
in there.
initiate?
Huh?
Do you initiate?
Oh, that's yeah.
Okay.
I'm team initiate anytime, any day. I'm not like those women that would say, "Oh, he has to." No, I don't have
Yeah.
time. I don't have time to waste
You're
time.
gonna get your food
When
if you're
Konji
hungry.
hits like this, we gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
You know the question we asked on the when we did the viewing party about if you and your husband are having a fight.
Fights, yes.
And
How do you?
And Konji has hit you. How do you initiate, or do you just let it go? Or do you sleep? I'm initiating. Like I'm not gonna sleep.
If I'm upset, I think I would. I think I would
You would
initiate.
sleep?
No, I would initiate if I'm upset and I feel like having sex. I would initiate.
Okay, good.
But if my
I don't
partner
get
is
people
mad at
I don't
me,
get people that say they don't. Even if he's mad at me,
if my partner is mad at me, I would not initiate.
I would.
I'll be too scared to initiate
you
because
know
I'm
why?
like, what if he
I
turns
have
me
an
down?
understanding that the brain up here is different from the brain down there.
For men,
Yeah,
but not for women though.
no, for men.
Oh,
So that's what I'm saying. If it's me that wants something, I
so
would
men
take
have
it.
two brains.
If I oh yeah, they do.
They do. Oh, Chase just said, yeah, they do.
They do. So it's
Okay,
like,
okay.
if I want it, I'm taking it, and he's not gonna even say "bim." He's not gonna say a word.
Man, God is
when
is
you
wonderful.
finish,
How
you
did he
just
make them?
Good night.
And then
We'll
you continue
our
the fight. Oh my days.
But yeah,
But have we helped this lady? We haven't.
We've not helped her.
We haven't helped her.
We can't help anybody. Come.
You know why I can't? She wants to stay from this. She wants to stay. There are some
Let's
people.
say if she didn't want to stay, what would be your advice then?
No, my advice would be to walk away first of all.
Already?
No, the guy cheated on her. He's cheating on her with his friend.
Okay.
With
So what if
girls.
cheating? What if cheating is not a big deal? Because you know some women cheating is not a big deal for them.
For some women, cheating is not a big deal.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I would be very upset that I would
In 1
threaten
year.
to leave.
Threaten, but you're not going to leave.
I would threaten to leave. His response determines.
Okay.
In fact, I might leave.
Really?
Because it will be difficult to get over it. Because every time you want to make out with that person, you'll be thinking about.
What about if you playing devil's advocate here, right?
Okay.
It's not what I would do. But let her get her lick back. Let her cheat.
But that's the thing. If the woman tries it, it's all over.
Yeah, no.
If she tries it,
So she should do it.
There's no
on
marriage.
on a DL.
but how that would not make her feel good about herself because at the end of the day, you're not paying back because he doesn't know what you did.
True.
So
I
it's
was
just
just playing devil's
one-sided.
advocate. So I'm just
No,
throwing it in there.
No. So it's just I don't know.
It's a
I don't
hard
know.
one.
It's tough because marriage is
hard
deeper than most people think. Once you're married to that person, there are some people in the comment section or watching this right now that will probably say, "She's cheated" or "The guy has cheated." Walk away, end your marriage. It's not that straightforward.
No, it's not.
Sometimes it's not that straightforward, with or without kids. So many people would comment. There are keypad warriors that will be leaving comments down below and saying, he's cheated on you, walk away, it's not tolerated, and blah, blah, blah. Some of them, if they tell you their stories,
It's not just cheating.
and they lie and
He's
they cover
cheating,
up, they don't
he's
tell you
beating.
their stories. So it's just
doing
very
the most.
dicey.
Yeah. So it's hard to advise, but if I'm just to say something, it would just be what I've said. Have the conversations. If he's willing to work on it, you guys work on it. And if he's not, then the decision is left to you.
I'll tell her to threaten to leave.
What's this threatening? If you're going to leave. Which one is threatening?
You know, when you threaten to leave, sometimes if you're just having a conversation, it's just a conversation. But if you tell him you're walking away from the marriage, then you know you're standing in the marriage. You know how important you
I
are
don't
to
even
him.
think it should come across as a threat. I think it should just be a conversation of, this is what's happened. This is what's going to happen if things don't change.
I'm saying,
So it is sort of, it's like...
I'm saying threaten him
Well,
just
how are you
because...
saying, if you don't stop...
No! Tell him you're done with the marriage. It's just a threat. But he doesn't know it's a threat. Do you get me?
But what if he takes you serious?
If he takes me serious, he doesn't care about the relationship. What are you there fighting for?
Because I know someone that has happened to.
Really?
You threatened divorce. Yeah, they threatened divorce.
Yeah.
They didn't mean it. But now they're divorced.
Nobody fought for it.
Yeah, because the man took it as, it is what it is.
So he was wrong.
No.
In this case, right?
Yeah.
In this case, not your
The
scenario.
person I know, yeah.
In this case, you are the one who cheated, and I'm telling you I'm going to walk away because you cheated, and then you took me serious, and you walked away. It means that I was never important to you now.
True.
There's no way someone is important to you and the person is telling you, I'm walking out of your life.
And you fight
And
for
then
it.
you're not fighting. And then you're letting me just walk
But
away.
what if the guy is like, okay, you've chosen to leave. I'm not going to convince you. Especially if
You're
he
not
knows,
going to convince me.
especially if he knows that he cheated on you. He knows that, okay, maybe he's feeling guilty as well. And feeling like, okay, let me not even bother. I've
If
messed
you're
her
feeling
I've messed
guilty,
up.
babe, if you hurt somebody
Some
that you
people are
love,
different. People are different too.
you love this person, you're
Some
feeling
people
guilty, and then the
collect
person
their-
says, I want to leave, and then you're like, all right,
Some people take their
all right,
L.
I'll just take it as my L and leave. You love somebody and you walk away from the person after you hurt the person. You're not saying, babe, I'm sorry.
No, but
I
even if
want
he
to make
says
this
sorry,
work.
it's not about what he says, it's what he does, right? Because even if he says sorry in that moment and she doesn't see changes, then she should leave. That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
So that's why
yes.
the threat for me is not what it's more about the actions of the man, because most people in that position will say, oh babe, I'm sorry, okay, that's if he cares anyway. He'll say I wouldn't do it anymore or whatever. But then goes on to carry on doing it.
No,
And then he sees, like kids, when they always say, don't threaten your children. If you say you're going to do something, do it.
Do
Because
it.
the more you threaten them, they realize this one is just joking. So they take the piss.
I get what you mean.
So it's like that. If a woman is threatening a man and she's not carrying out any actions,
If
he's going to keep doing
If
it.
she's threatening the man and then the man is not saying sorry and then acting sorry, then she can leave.
You should.
Then she should leave. This lady, if you're watching, please leave. Threaten him. If he's not acting sorry, walk away. In my
What
opinion.
I would say is speak to him, go to therapy, all the good things that people say, and work on your marriage. But 3 months without sex, girl.
3 months is not that
You're
long.
better than me.
It's not that long. What's the longest you've gone without sex?
Ooh, in marriage? I mean,
Yeah, in marriage. Have you even gone 3 months without sex in marriage?
I've not gone 3 months without sex in marriage.
3 months?
No.
Oh, so you guys have never been apart for that long?
No.
Even childbirth? After childbirth?
Oh, yeah. That's the longest I've gone without sex.
6 weeks.
The 6... 5 weeks.
5.5.
Oh,
You almost made it 6 weeks,
You
man.
don't reach 6. I think it's after the 4th week. Well, let's try.
Let's try. Is it okay? So we're good to go.
And then let's try. And then-
We'll be gentle.
But I think, that's the longest. I'm trying
I think I've gone longer than 3
to- On
months.
a normal day, nah. Why? My mind will start playing on me like, what's happening? Something is off. What is off? 2 weeks? What? What is happening?
I've gone longer.
The people that know me, they know this. So I'm not ashamed to say it. They know. They always insult me about it anyway, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But no, I don't. No.
All right, girl. Let's move on. It's not about us. We're trying to help people here.
Please,
Hopefully,
guys,
we're helping you.
We're not specialists in these things. We're just chatting. We're two girls just bantering. So
It's in the comments. It's
if we,
in the
if we
description.
take if we say something, you take it. Don't come back and say we gave you advice. So
And if you don't agree with our opinion, please let us know what you would do in the comment section, because, as we have opinions, some people have opinions too. So let us know in the comment section what you think.
yeah.
Whenever women gather, they talk about men. Whenever men gather, they talk about women. It's always, I don't know, it's just
Some men will say whenever they gather, they talk about business.
cap.
Lie.
So like, they will talk about business, they will talk about football, but they will still talk about women.
Women.
You guys will still talk about us.
Unless
Whether
you're not
it or not.
close. If you're close, you talk about us.
Alright, go on then.
So, my husband and I have been married for some years now, and God has blessed us with 2 boys. I've always suspected him cheating because I used to see messages between him and other ladies, but I didn't have any solid evidence. Recently, I gathered a lot of evidence, confronted him, and he finally confessed that he had slept with about 10 women
Yo.
after we got married.
What?
Hold on.
Wait. Read that again, please.
Recently,
that
I
line.
gathered a lot of evidence, confronted him, and he finally confessed that he has slept with about 10 women after we got married. He's now begging me not to file for a divorce and leave him, and that I'm the best thing he's ever had. He's never had a woman as supportive
Hold
and
on.
kind-hearted as I am.
Pause.
Please, I need to get to the end because it's so interesting. He's never had a woman as supportive and kind-hearted as I am. This man
But you
has
cheat.
emotionally
But you
damaged me to the point, and my mental health won't allow me to stay. But everyone around me is also begging for him and telling me not to rob my children
I beg.
from growing in a 2-parent household.
Yeah.
I'm very confused. Wait. He cheated with 10 women.
Guy, there's so
10
much.
women.
There's so much to unpack here. Oh my god.
Where do you want to start from, girl? Where do you want to start from?
The fact that he said she's the best he's ever had, but he's cheated with 10 women. Excuse me, what? What? Excuse me, what? So, you cheated with the first one. She's the best I've ever had. So, basically, you are testing out all the women to see who's going to be better than me. You're mad. You have to be crazy, because I don't understand what's going on.
She said she's been married for some years. So I'm assuming it's not up to 10 years.
What does that have to do with it?
Because if it was up to 10 years,
Well,
you would be proud of that and say, I've been married for 10 years and over. Because I feel like when you're married for up to 10 years, it rolls up the tongue easily.
I get up.
How long have you been married?
9 years. This year.
If someone says, how long have you been married? Would you say some years? Or you'd say 9 years?
I say 9 years.
You know why?
Why?
Because 9 years is a lot of years.
You know why?
Yeah. 9 years is a lot of years. And you feel like you've earned it.
No, it's the same way I said 9 years, the same way I would have said 5 years. It don't
No,
matter.
if it was one, would you say, oh, just...
Yeah, I've only been married for 1 year.
Well, fair.
Can't. This honestly don't matter to me. It's not about how long. It's how well.
How well. True.
So all that one don't
I
matter.
agree with you. So now she's saying 10 women. There are 2 boys. I'm stressed on her.
Oh yeah, you should have brought the dilemma. So we answered the question
So,
because I don't
Let
understand.
me dive into it then. She said she suspected him cheating.
Women's
Because she still messages.
intuition.
And now, the fact that he has confessed, she gathered enough evidence. Because every time she probably put it to him,
She's
he
smart,
denied
girl.
it, he got away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought it to him, and he's saying and apologizing that he did cheat with 10 women.
Okay.
Babe, it's not one. I don't know how I can forgive that. I swear to God. I swear to God. I don't know how I can forgive 10. I swear. You know how
10,
in the
not
other
one,
episode,
not two,
You know-
but 10.
you know how in the other episode we said, if he cheats, some women would be like,
It's not a deal breaker.
it's not a deal breaker, and then depending on his approach,
Yeah.
if he's seeking therapy, if he's working towards it, you might lean towards, especially when kids are involved. Let's be honest. It's different when kids are involved.
That's
See,
10
this is 10
soul
women.
ties.
10.
10.
I personally don't know how I can forgive that.
I
If
personally
people are
don't
begging,
know.
fuck.
Jesus, what's wrong with this girl like
Stop
that?
suffering. Those women,
That's
people
another
that are
one.
begging.
Those ones that are begging, they need to stop. First of all, leave the woman to make her own decision. Stop trying to tell her to stick around because of you want the child to be in a two household. Do you know what? There was something I watched. I don't know if you know Adrian Bailon. She from the real. Yes, I remember.
Do you like the same people?
I love Adrian. So Adrian
I love
Bailon
Adrian Bailon.
from the real, right?
Yeah,
She's
from The
married.
Real.
For those that don't know, I keep looking at that
She was
camera.
a
What is
cheater
it?
girl as
She was
well.
a cheater girl. Yeah, she's the cheater girl. She's married to
She
Israel.
dated one of Kim's brother, the only brother. What's his name? Kardashian brother.
Oh, Rob Kardashian.
Kardashian,
Yeah. She's currently married.
She's married to
Israel Houghton, the
yeah.
gospel singer, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole. Why did we give her a whole biography
Because
right
we
now?
love her, that's why.
Right, anyway, I remember there was an episode on The Real that she was talking, I don't know if it's The Real, but she was talking somewhere, and she said growing up, I think she was 13 when her parents divorced, and as a child, she knew her mom wasn't happy as at like 12 years old. So when they got the divorce, when she was 13 or so, she actually went to her mom and said, I'm happy you're divorced because I can see you're happy now. So I get it that, okay, we just need to be very careful how we advise people. Fine, you say, okay, stay for the child. That's fine. I'm in support of that if that's what you want as a woman. But there's a stage in marriage that the toxicity will get too much, that even your child that you're considering, it might be better for you guys to separate than for that child to be in a marriage of toxicity. Because they will end up growing up to becoming adults that will in turn do either go one way or the other. It's usually the one way or the other. It's either they're so good because they don't want to be like their parent, or they don't know better and they think that's how love and marriage is meant to be.
Yeah.
So people that advise people to stay because of children, yeah, it's a good advice, but be careful. Especially if you don't know the full extent of what's happening within the marriage. Just be careful.
See, let me give my own advice real quick.
It's a lot.
10 ladies is a lot. Take your things, take your 2 boys.
Why
and
you like
leave.
this? Why you always like this, Dorcas? Why are you
Straight
so
to the
quick to
point.
say leave?
I'm
Leave.
getting straight to the point. Wait,
Leave.
Spencer, 10. 10.
What do you think?
You know, one time is a mistake.
What does he think? As a man, what do you think?
He's got a lot of time on his hands, isn't it?
He's got a lot of
He's a
time.
busy man.
What do you think she should do? If she's your sister, what would you say?
10.
Yeah, get rid.
Get rid.
Get rid.
Like,
You gotta get rid. You
go.
gotta get rid, innit? You gotta get rid.
10 is a lot.
10 is a lot.
One's enough for me, you know what I mean?
Do you get me?
Some people walk away after 1.
Yeah.
And then some people forgive after 1. And you're staying after 10.
Girl, you know what to do. It's hard to really advise this, but if you know, yeah. If you still want to stay in the marriage, like I always say, you know, they can come for me,
Therapy.
but I'm looking at the wrong camera. I don't
Therapy.
know why I'm always looking at that camera. Yeah,
Therapy.
literally.
There's no therapy in it. There is
Look,
no therapy.
no. You can't say that. If you want to stay, because let people make their own decisions. That's what I say. Make your own decision. If you want to stay with a man, girl, good luck.
If she wants
Go to therapy with your husband.
Regina, if she wants to, yeah, that's
Ten.
fine. You're giving your opinion, you have the mic.
My own
and you say,
opinion.
what would you do?
Me, 10. It's not possible. It's not. I'm
What
done.
would-
I can't.
Regina, 10 babes.
No, it's too much. It's too much. But like I always like to do, I like balance, right? If you do want to stay, kudos to you. Your grace is more than mine. Well done.
Move on to the next dilemma. So this is, please help me speak about this. Who is an in-law supposed to call when coming to visit? Especially when they are coming
me
to
almost
stay
choking
for
on
a
my
while and knowing that it's the wife that will be of service
It's
to them
the wife.
most.
End of story. Over. Finish. Period. Boom. Dot. The
So
wife.
even if it's the man's mom, she should call you
Yes.
first.
Regardless of who you call first, you must call me before you come to my house. Period. There's no even. If you like, talk to your son. If you like, don't talk to your son. You must call me because I have the final say.
Really?
Yes.
This marriage, is it one-sided?
No, I have the final say. But that's how it is for real. Like in my household, I have the final say, and I know it, and he knows it. So even if he wants something,
You're giving patience. It's all cool vibes.
especially when
I
it comes to
have final say.
family, yeah, it has to come through me.
So even
And
if
I'm
it's
nice.
his mom.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a mom, so
Bless
I don't
her.
have any issues
Bless
with
him.
mother-in-laws.
Oh, okay.
But he's got family, he's got siblings, he's got his dad. Well, his dad is my love, so I can never say no to him. But if it's the same thing even with my family. It's everyone. You come like he would know,
So why? So his family would have to call you,
and my family will have to call me.
and your family will have to call you.
They can
Regina.
talk to him and say it to him, but it's still the decision still lies with me
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
because I'm the woman of the house. It's my house. It's our house, but I run the home.
I hear you. I hear you.
He's the man of the house, but when it comes to people coming to stay in the space, because he already, I think, because it's easy for us because we have that agreement and understanding with each other. I love my space,
Okay.
and he knows that I love my space. So for people to come and stay, it has to be my decision because he's comfortable with anybody. He's comfortable, but I'm the one that will probably feel uncomfortable with other people. So yeah, it has come through me.
Okay.
What about you? Why are you saying okay like?
Because I don't see it that way. So if my in-law is coming to the house, yes, they can call me, but I don't think they have to call me first.
No, they don't have to call me first, but they still have to call me before they show up.
Funny enough, I don't think they have to call me before the show.
No, they have to call
Now,
me.
by my in-laws, I mean, I'm like that. Maybe I'm like your husband. I can sleep anywhere. I can stay anywhere. See, if like 20 people come to the house, I can sleep like this on the couch. I don't care.
Oh, that's nice.
I think my husband is more even protective of his space than I am. So
it's the
they don't
other
have to call me. And my in-laws are they're not many.
way. Mine are plenty.
My people are plenty. I have more people than he does.
We have more people than he does.
Exactly. So I'm like, if they call me, fine. If they don't, anytime they show, oh, you're here, welcome. I'm cool with it.
The other day, I think it was like, was it 2 days ago? And but I do the same thing because I have my in-laws here, but they are his siblings, not like his parents.
Okay.
So I have a close relationship with them anyway.
Okay.
So because they've taken time to know who I am and to learn me, they know what's up as well. So the other day, 2 days ago,
they just rang me and said, "Oh, we're coming over."
Okay.
I was knackered. I was tired, but I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
But I need to know beforehand. I would never say no. If I have an issue, we'll discuss it and then figure it out. But
I think for me, if it's maybe his friends, then I have to know.
funny enough, with friends, I don't care.
Really?
Yeah.
No, with friends, I have to know because I have to put myself together. But when it's family, I'm like, anyhow you meet me,
But that's how I am. That's how I am with everybody, with friends, family. If you come, I'm always, and everybody knows, I know they wear clothes for house. I don't wear clothes in my house. So whatever you come and you see, it's on you. I don't have shame. So I'm always in my shorts or in my short dress or something. So they already know. And his friends, they can come and be one horrible rapper. Like it's just because his friends are more like family anyway. So
no, for friends, I have to put myself together. So I have to know when friends are coming. No, not look nice, but put myself together in terms of food and serving, because it will be, I'll feel a type of way.
They can sort themselves out.
Really? No, but like when his friends are coming over, I feel like, no, I have to feed. But if it's my in-laws, for instance, and they don't call me and they're coming over, which they wouldn't do, but if they don't do that, if they don't call me, it's wee.
Yeah,
it's what I have,
family.
I will give.
No,
Do you get?
yeah.
Or then I now have to go cook something, make something. But if it's his friends, I'll feel a type of way if they're just there seated with dry throats.
Yeah, definitely. I think the reason I'm the opposite way with his friends, because they are my friends as well.
Okay, so his friends are not my friends.
All his friends, well, the ones that are here anyway, I've known all of them since I was like 16, 17.
Oh, that long?
Yeah, for as long as I've known him, I've known them.
Oh, that makes sense.
So they're like my G's. So if I come and there's no, just put concussion together. I mean, I jump, you eat it, or so it's very
His
easy.
friends are more of his friends. I wouldn't say they're my friends.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the third one.
The last one.
The last one. So hello.
Wait, did we advise this one?
The in-law. We just explained our own situation. So just take what you can take from it.
It was a question she asked.
Yeah, it was
right?
a question your
that question is
over.
coming out of somewhere. I'm sure maybe her own in-laws just show up.
Maybe they just show up and she's not comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But some people see, we're going back to it again. But some people see in-laws as in-laws. May I see my in-laws as like
my
family.
Yeah.
They're my sisters. They're my sister one.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think that's the difference. Once you see if you're close to your in-laws like that, it's different. But if it's like in-laws, then you definitely feel uncomfortable as a woman. And I think it's a conversation you need to have with your husband. He needs to then have it with his family. You can't say anything, but you need to tell him.
Quick one. I don't know how good this advice is, but when I was doing my marriage counseling before I got married, the pastor that was counseling us told us that if we want to give, for instance, he wants to give my people money.
It's from you guys.
No, it should come, if we want to give, like if I want to give my mom money, for instance, it should come from him.
Okay.
And then it should be the other way.
Yeah, if he
wants to give his people money, it should come from me.
Yeah.
That was what the pastor said.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I agree.
You do?
I think it's a I don't know if it's a traditional way of thinking of doing things.
Could be.
But I think it's a right way of doing things. Definitely.
I think it's not a bad.
I think it's not bad. I mean,
but it won't work like that all the time.
Yeah, it won't all the time. And if you're not of that mindset, then it's fine as well. You know, I think the aim is just to always present a united front.
Exactly.
And just be united. I think there's something similar that I heard as well of if you are doing something, it should be a we rather than an I sort of thing. It's all these things that you learn in marriage counseling.
And I swear, and marriages are different. What works for A might not work for B. So
exactly.
Just know what you're in and then do what works for you.
I think to wrap that one up, just have a conversation with your husband and then try to build a good relationship with your in-law if you don't have one already. It's always good, man. Nigerians say you don't marry the person, you marry the family. So, and the Yoruba people say a bad wife or husband is not the problem, it's a bad in-law, something like that. It's not like if you have a bad wife,
like it's manageable.
You can work it out if you
but
have.
When you have bad in-laws,
but if you have bad in-laws, it's hard.
Man, I'm glad I'm not in that boat. Because people are going through things, man.
Yeah.
With bad in-laws. Let's move on. So this one says, please, I need help. Right. Before we got married, I found out my husband was having an affair with a colleague in the office. Office wife. I found out my husband was having an affair with a colleague in the office. I didn't break up with him then because I really loved him. And when I decided to eventually break up, I found out that we were pregnant. We got married and have been happily married for 8 months. All these young marriages are having serious dilemmas now. Wow. You guys just started. We got married and have been happily married. Okay, for 8 months. My problem is I can't get over the fact that he was with her, and I find it difficult to trust him. Sometimes, even when we have sex, I think of him with her. I always compare myself
Sex
to
ain't
her,
good then.
though I never voice it out.
How are you thinking about someone else?
As in, like,
someone that is not like you're thinking about another like dude or something. You're thinking about another girl and your man. Anyway, carry on.
okay. I think of him with her. I always compare myself to her. I never voiced it out though. I even dreamt about her
That's
telling me
sad.
about their affair several times.
Omo,
I
that's so
really need help
serious.
because my mental health is at stake. I don't like the way I am. Please help me. Sometimes I wish I had broken up with him earlier for my peace of mind. But now we're married and I'm still angry. I need help, please.
Why are you laughing now? It's so sad.
It is.
It's really, really sad because it's actually affecting her mental health. Facts.
Do not jump into a marriage because you got pregnant.
That's one chance.
Go on.
What I would say to her, I really feel sorry for you, but I'll advise you need to see a therapist. That's my biggest advice because it's becoming a mental problem. Like, not problem, it's
I know a lot of
affecting-
people are big on therapy.
I know, but well, if you ain't gonna do that, you're gonna kill somebody. So I think she should, okay, maybe not a therapist, but you need to speak to somebody. If you're a Christian and you have a pastor that you're close to, maybe you should speak to the person.
Okay.
Because it's no more, I feel like it's no longer his fault anymore. Because you found out
And you stayed.
and you stayed. I know she was planning to leave, but she got pregnant. But for some reason you stayed. And now so many things, I'm sure the guy probably doesn't even know this is affecting you.
Yeah, she said she never voiced it.
Exactly. So now you've removed it from him and you've put it on yourself. So now you need to work on yourself.
She didn't heal before getting married.
Thank you. So that's why I said she needs to find a way to heal. If it's therapy, if it's talking to somebody, it's hard because obviously you can't trust everybody. That's why I always say therapy, because at least you're speaking to professionals in this sense.
Yo, this girl.
So it's a very sad one. I know a very similar situation actually.
Really?
Yeah. I know I don't really want to talk on it because they might know.
Yeah, okay.
But,
Then don't.
but it's more about and I always go back to this. As a woman, if you know something before you jump into a big decision as getting married or getting pregnant and things like that, act on it first. Sort yourself
Deal
out.
with it.
Deal with it first. Don't blindly say, oh, no, or say, oh, he would change, or oh, this or that. Because women tend to internalize a lot. So we might say, okay, yeah, it's over, it's done, I've forgiven you. But trust me, things was like, you're having sex and you're thinking about that. That's where it comes out.
She's gone as far as dreaming about the girl, comparing herself with the girl.
She needs to find the girl.
That-
Find the girl.
No, don't find
Track
the girl.
her down.
No, don't find the girl.
It could be closure for her.
No, it will
She
make
could
things
find the
worse.
girl.
For someone like that, that's already thinking about the girl, comparing
She'll
herself.
find her. And
I
she'll end
think
up on the news.
For her to compare herself with the girl, she probably even knows who
She
the girl
knows,
is.
obviously, for her to, she's not voiced out to him, but women, come on. We'll
She
do
would
our
have checked on
investigation.
Instagram.
Before Uncle,
Compare herself.
Before
Check the
uncle,
outfit the girl is
look at
wearing.
what she's wearing. Look at her wig.
Oh, and this girl has
Look
a
at her
tiny
makeup.
waist.
Ooh,
Mm.
imagine the girl is now one of them.
Or it could just be that the sex is so good that she's comparing herself with
The
the
sex is
girl.
not good. That is a lie.
If
If the sex is
listen
good,
to
are
me.
you-
Something that
when your sex
hurts
is good, are
women.
you looking?
Sometimes when it hurts you the most is when you think, so this good
No,
thing
in
that is
the
coming
act.
to me, he gave to her.
I understand that.
So that's where she might be coming from.
I understand that, but from what you read, I'm guessing it's during the act, during the sexual act. That's when her mind is wandering. Then
Yeah,
the
her
sex
mind
ain't
is
great.
wondering like, okay, it's good, and she got the same thing.
No, then I will be turned off. The moment I start thinking about that, everywhere is dry. Everything till low. Oh God, I'm into oh God. God. But that's what I mean. Like, why am I thinking that when I'm having fun?
Well, yeah, but on a serious note, I think this girl probably already has self-esteem issues For you to be thinking
Or
or
it could've-
comparing
no, I
yourself
think
to
it
some
could've-
other person.
It must have stemmed from what happened. At this point, she definitely has that. She has self-esteem.
Self-esteem issues, yeah.
But I'm guessing it might not be like she had it like from before, but it might have just been because it happens. It happened to me when a guy cheated on me. It's like it affected me. Like in that sense, I start to compare. I start to look down. Like I don't think I'm all that anymore. So it takes. Why am I keep playing with my hair? Sorry. It takes work to come out of that.
She
And
needs to heal.
She definitely needs to do that work.
She needs to heal. If she had healed before getting married, but now she's stuck in the marriage. She's not stuck. I keep saying stuck. She's just like 8 months in, and she needs to work on herself.
I would think it can. She needs to speak to him. He needs to know.
Yeah,
It's because I feel one of the problems is because she's not voiced it out.
and she doesn't trust him.
Yeah. And
What's
that's
a marriage
because-
without trust?
But that's because she hasn't voiced it out. They've not worked through it. She needs to speak to him as well and let him know this is what I found out and this is how it's affected me.
So, how would you say you? Of course, almost every girl has been cheated on.
yeah.
Most girls have been cheated
Most, yeah.
on. How would you say you healed when it happened to you? What helped?
I don't know.
I think for me, what helped was, I think it was maybe because it was just baby love. I realized I don't really love the person that
Mine
much,
wasn't.
so it was easy to move on.
I think mine was time. And mine was
Time.
space. Time and space because the person wasn't around me.
Okay.
So I had that space to process everything and the time because luckily for me, well, I'll say luckily, but it's not really luckily. I'm grown now anyway, so mom, you can't come for me. I started dating at a quite young age anyway. So a lot of things that happened to me when I was young.
Okay.
So, and you know when you're young, you're like 18, 17, 18, 19. Things like for me, I feel like I get over things. My personality, I get over things quickly anyway, even now. So it helped me move past it. Time, space, and then getting with someone else. I said what I said. Guys, so we're going to read this dilemma that one of our subscribers sent out to us and we'll just talk about it. I mean, we've already engaged with her and we've sent her our response and stuff, but we just wanted to read and she's okay with us reading it out on the podcast. So we just thought to read out the dilemma and then get talking. So, guys, I apologize for my reading. It's really bad, by the way. So she sends us an email and says, hello, well done on your podcast. I love tuning in. So thank you, girl. If you know yourself, thank you. The situation I'm in is quite common for many immigrant children, especially firstborn African daughters. My mother and biological dad chose to have another baby. I like the fact she said chose to have another baby when I was 10 years old. And at this point, both my parents were constantly working or had other commitments. And because of my age, this burden of looking after my baby brother fell onto me. My dad was home sometimes with me, but he was She said he was incompetent and I had to be the one to feed, change, and entertain my brother.
Okay.
And make sure that he is in bed at the correct time. Because of this, I lost so many years of my teenage years babysitting and being unable to go out due to having to look after him.
That's sad.
It's really sad.
That's sad.
It's really sad. Currently, sorry guys, it's a long one, by the way. Currently, I'm living with my parents and I'm almost 19 years of age. And my mother has taken the leap to have a baby with her new husband at the age of 39. This girl really,
Oh my
she
God.
really casted everybody. But yeah, so her mom has decided to have another baby and she's 19, by the way. She's taking off work for 3 years after this baby is born. Sorry. She's taking off work for 3 years after this baby is born. Today, she asked me to look after my younger brother, who is now 8 years old, while she goes to the hospital to get induced over a 4 day period. I expressed to her my commitments with work and running my business and how it is almost impossible for me to cancel everything I have to help out for that long a period of time.
Yeah.
She proceeded to tell me that because he's my sibling, it is my responsibility and I am selfish for not dropping everything I have to babysit him.
Imagine that.
So my question to you guys is, am I an asshole? And how do I go about this? The end. Love you.
No.
She's so sweet.
She is.
Wow, that was a long read.
When
Guys.
you were reading it, what thoughts came to you? Because as I was reading it, I was thinking about my own kids.
Really?
Yeah. So what thoughts came to you? Because sometimes low key, I make my first daughter entertain her brother. I do it sometimes. Unconsciously, I'm like, go play with your brother.
And that's why she said her first line was that the situation is very common. It is very common in the African society with their first child, be daughter, mainly daughters really, but regardless, the first child is usually like
the scapegoat. That's what you are. You're the scapegoat. You're like, you carry all the burden. You do all the chores. You look after your siblings. You're responsible for the kids. You're responsible for the house, the kitchen, everywhere.
It's funny that while I was reading it, I was actually it's a lot that there's so many things to address in this, right?
To
but
unpack.
One thing that just stuck out to me was a conversation I had with myself when I started having children. Mm-hmm. It's, like you said, it's so easy for us to fall into that habit of, the first child. And I found myself doing it like, Emmanuel, go and do this and go and bring this and go and bring that. And I have to constantly remind myself that no, because before I started having children, I always told myself, I don't want to be that mom that would because I've experienced it with a friend of mine who was older.
Yes.
And she was sort of the babysitter for her younger siblings, you know, and I didn't have that because I'm the third child, so I was fine. But I saw her do it, and it was to the point where for her, she didn't really have much of a life, which is quite similar to this girl's situation. Like, she didn't have a life like, oh, let's go out, let's go. Like, the things I was doing, she didn't really get to do it. And then that's why when she did come out with me, when she had her time, she was having a good time. I was so happy for her, though. But it is quite sad when you think about
really
the pressure
sad
on the first child, firstborn girl, or boy sometimes. It just depends on your family dynamics, you know. In regards to her question, that obviously you're not an asshole, and that's one thing I said to her when we replied her.
She isn't. She isn't, and I think live it in a modernized country like this is easy to notice that this is not normal.
It's not, because your peers are outside.
Your peers are outside. You have friends who are also first siblings, who are first kids. So it's not normal. And I feel like parents need to do better.
Yeah.
Be intentional and not put that much burden on your first child. Nobody asked you to have another child. And you could have had one and kept it pushing. But you decided to have more kids. You decided and now she's going into the hospital to have a third child.
Yeah, for another, obviously her new husband. Obviously things have happened, and the girl's dad have split it up or
with
whatever.
things like that, the girl ends up growing up and ends up resenting her parents. So
I think it falls back on parents as well. Sometimes we need to be less selfish and think about the children, like, because I feel like her mom, no shade, that is very, like, that's so unfair. That is so unfair.
no. What do I call it now? Look at it from another point of view. If me is coming out.
Okay.
So now look at it from the mother's point of view. They immigrated to this country or migrated to this country. You're having to work. You're having to pay bills. You're having to do that. Now, having kids, that's on you.
Yeah.
But having to work all the time. So even if she had just the girl and then she was working back to back to provide, she wouldn't be there. So it would be another complaint.
Yeah, it would be a different thing. Right?
From the girl. So it's like you really cannot win.
No, I don't know. I don't agree with... I don't necessarily agree with that, because fair enough, you can't really win because you have to still hustle regardless as a parent. But I feel like parents need to put things in place so that burdens don't fall on a child. A child should always remain a child.
A child should definitely remain
fair
a child.
Enough, even if she's 13 and she seems mature, or she's 16 and she sees mature. Fair enough in some situations, but not when it's now you have to. It's your No, it's not my responsibility.
No,
Mom.
it's not. It's not.
your
It's
child,
not. It's
not my child. This is my sibling, not my child. So I feel as a mom, what I practice myself is I would find a baby. I'm working so hard. Why can't you pay for a babysitter? Your daughter is 19. She has a job. She's probably out of college.
This is a conversation for another day, because if you have a job, for somebody who migrated here, I can almost bet that she's not doing well. Whatever kind of job she's doing will not be enough to pay for a babysitter.
No. I disagree.
How?
I love the fact that we're disagreeing.
I don't know how much minimum wage is. I think it's about £12 an hour, £11.
Dorcas,
or
I'm not
£10.
saying have a
If you're
living
making
nanny.
no, even for you to get a babysitter in a country like this,
Yeah, I understand.
first of all, you
that.
need to have a responsible partner that is working as hard as you are. And she said her dad is incompetent.
No, in terms of looking after the child. She said that her dad and mom are both busy. So when he's around, he's incompetent.
So imagine they're making, the household is making about 3K. You know how much it is to get a babysitter or a child minder?
So that's what I'm saying. As a parent, it's not going to be every time. What my point is, you don't put so much pressure on your child that she's the one that is constantly looking after your child.
Of course not.
For example, this 4-day period that she has to go and have a baby, and you already know that this girl probably has been doing it all this while, because now she's 19. When she was looking after her brother, she was younger. Now she's 19 and she has a busy life. It's on you. The onus is on you as a parent to find a different childcare for your child.
For your child, true.
It's not. It shouldn't be a 4-day period. You can look for a friend, a relative, or pay someone.
Or not get pregnant.
No. Yeah, right. It's easier said than done.
No, really, because it's obvious.
Ideally.
It's obvious she doesn't have family. It's obvious she doesn't have friends where she can keep her
she
kids.
probably does. But this is what I'm saying. That
But
I feel
leaving your younger child who is 8 years old for a 19 years old girl who is supposed to have a business, who is supposed to have a life.
it's because she's been doing it all this while. So even now, even if she has
The older she gets, or the older the younger brother gets, the lesser the burden.
yeah.
That's how it should be. But still,
No, but with this girl that's dropped this thing, she's been experiencing this for a while now, years now, right? She's gotten to a point, this is what I get from her, she's gotten to a point where she's done. And one of the things, she needs to set boundaries. She needs to now set, because she's a child, then she couldn't probably speak up. But she was internalizing everything that was happening, how she was feeling. It's affected her to this point where she's like, I can't do it. 4 days, I'm not going to take time off work for you to go have a child that I didn't ask you to have. She's probably going through feelings and trauma of her parents separating. That's another thing. So there's so many aspects to it.
there are.
In this case, I just feel like her mom, no offense to her mom, like I feel like there's a lot more she could have done. And I'm not necessarily blaming the mom, because to be fair, I can't blame anybody, any parent, because
Exactly, that's why I was saying.
Yeah, but it's still not an
sometimes
excuse.
It's not an excuse, but obviously this is the girl's side of the story.
Yeah,
if you hear the mom's side of the story, it might be different. If you hear the struggles the mom is going through, if you know the sacrifices the mom has made,
I can understand that.
Do you understand? But as a child, sometimes you feel like especially because she's going through it, she feels like the burden is too much. She might get older and start to see things differently. You remember we always said, one of our episodes, we said something about giving our parents grace.
Yeah.
Because now we're parents ourselves, and then we can see and understand some of the struggles that they went through. So I'm just coming from that angle of, one, this is the girl's side of the story, which, if you look at it like you've been saying, she's still a child. But then again, if you hear the parents' side of the story, it might be a case of, in as much as yes, they leave her with the sibling, there are other things and other sacrifices that they make for the kids.
I get it.
Because at the end of the day, they migrated here. They probably earn very little. They're probably trying to work with what they have.
I absolutely understand you. I just feel like even if they're doing a lot and they're going through their own struggles, as a parent, when the trauma that a child carries onto adulthood, most likely is hard to undo it. It takes a lot of work to undo it.
It does.
So even if now she's grown and she's at a point where she's now understanding, it still doesn't negate the fact that she's
experienced some trauma that she will probably carry into relationship, friendships, things.
Very valid.
It would come out in so many ways. So
Very,
I mean,
very, very valid.
what do you think about setting boundaries within family? What, like, I'm just sort of deviating off this.
To boundaries. Yeah. I think to an extent she can set boundaries, but set your boundaries in a way that it doesn't come off as you being ungrateful.
Facts,
Because to an extent, your parents put a roof over your head for a long time. Well, it's their job, it's their responsibility at the end of the day. But
you still have to be grateful.
yeah, you still have to be grateful because there are some parents that are out here and don't care.
Exactly, yeah.
So she still needs to set her boundaries without necessarily coming off as an ungrateful child or a child that is spoiled. You know how they now say, oh, this child is spoiled.
Yeah.
But how would she set her boundaries in a case like this?
I mean, should I read my response to her? Like,
Yeah,
just
go
a
on,
quote?
go on.
So one of the things I told her was that, you know, like in terms of setting the boundaries, it's not selfish for her to set boundaries, but she needs to, just like you said, come out, set her boundaries in a way, like in a loving manner, right? So I gave her an example of how to sort of speak to her mom, and I said you can say something like, for example, Mom, I understand how stressful this time is, and like this time must be for you, and I would really love to help you where I can, but like, you know, I've got this, and this commitments right now.
Yeah.
And with my work and business, I really can't take on this responsibility at this moment, right? And you obviously know that I've always been here for the family because she has. Do you get me? For all this while. But I need to actually make time for myself in this moment.
Yes, I think that's a good approach to set boundaries.
And then I also said to her, if you have, because our parents are not perfect. They don't know everything. You know, if you have other suggestions, you can also put it to your mom. Sorry. You can always put it to your mom in terms of alternative. For example, Mom, if you have a friend that you know that is free, I can speak to Jane and see if Jane can create that time and we just give her small change. You know, there are ways that you can suggest other things that might can juggle her mind of, okay, I can open up. Because like I said, ideally as a mom, I would have made plans for my child. I would ask a friend, ask a family member, or if I know a church member. I always feel there's somebody. You know,
it seems like there's
somebody. But I feel like as a mom, she's just very comfortable with the fact that her daughter has been looking after them for years. So, you know, when you get into that comfort zone, I don't want to stress anybody else. My daughter can do it, but you need to
It could be that.
Yeah, I feel that's what it is.
Or it could be that she doesn't trust anybody. Or it could be that there's been times where she's put them with family and friends and negative things have happened. So it could be anything,
it could be
really.
Anything, yeah.
I think the boundary I think she should set is maybe... She says she has a business. If you have a business, go out for your business. Have a place of business that is outside your house. So you have to leave the house for that business. Your mom knows that you're leaving the house at a particular time every day. There's no way she's leaving her child for you because she knows you're not home.
Yeah.
By the time the boy is getting back from school, you're not home to babysit. So she has to do something. So I think that's why a lot of people like to move out of the house early.
Yes, true.
If she has to move out early, let her move out early.
Yeah.
And then visit us from time to time.
From time to time. And to be fair, when you're getting to that age of like 19, 20, 21, a lot of times your relationship with your parents gets better. But most times you have to have left the house.
For it to get better.
That happened to me, but we can talk about that in another, our own personal experiences, how we built relationship with our parents, because that's actually a good conversation to have with young ladies and their moms and things like that.
Yeah. I think mine got better.
Mine got better when I went to uni, and because I left uni. And it got way better after I got married as well.
Yeah. The older we get, the better it gets. So just hang in there. It will get better.
It'll get better, definitely.
It'll get better, girl.
Hang in there. Remember that family is always family. Like, set boundaries with love and be there for your family when you can. Obviously, if you can't be there, it's fair. It's fine. Everyone will have to adapt and accept. Yeah. There's nothing you can do about it.
Just do your bits.
Do your bits and leave the rest. Nobody you born the picking.
Exactly.
Nobody you born the picking. But yeah, thank you so much. We don't want to take much more time.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, follow us on all our social media platforms. It's Real Dilemmas Podcast everywhere. Yeah. I almost forgot it because I haven't said it in a while. But yeah, it's Real Dilemmas Podcast
everywhere. Share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we love you. If you have any more dilemmas, please send it to our email address or DM us on Instagram.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in our next episode.
Have a good-
Love, guys.
Always.
Bye.
Bye.